Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the topic which is known as data types. Now, data type has been divided into two parts. One is primitive, non-primitive. Where non-primitive side, we are going to call some classes or objects inside. Whereas primitive side, we can call for an integer numbers like Boolean as well as of numeric. In the numeric, again, it has been categorized into two parts, character and integer. Why we are going to call character under the numeric in the sense we have the ASCII values for that. I mean, for A, B, or everything, we are going to have some numbers. So, again, under the integral, again, we have integer and floating point. Under the integer, there are four different data types. One is byte, short, int, long. Floating point, we have two. One is float, another one is double. Okay, these are the default values which we are going to have, sizes and the ranges. Like example, Boolean. If you have a false, it is going to store only one bit. Only one bit. And it is true or false. The range can be have only, we don't have any range for that. We have only two values. One is true or false. Whereas coming to the character, this will be your default value which is going to store. But the default size is 2 bytes. 2 bytes is equal to how many bits? 2 bytes is equal to how many bits?
16 bits, sir.
16 bits. Okay. Now the range refers for the character is 0 to 255. 0 to 255 characters which can be ranged here. Coming to your byte, it stores default value is 0. The default size is 1 byte. It ranges from minus 128 to plus 127. If you store plus 128 in the byte B, it's throw an error. If you want, you can check it out. Next, short. We have default 0. Default value is 0. Default size is 2 bytes. The range is, what is the number of value we can store in that short is minus 32,768 to 32,767. Okay, it cannot exceed than this number. In the negative part, this should not be get exceeded. Integer 0, 4 bytes. And the range it can be stored the value is this much number of range. Okay, long, whenever you're specifying a long, by default the value will be 0L. We have 8 bytes and the range for your long is this. It can store this. Float, whenever you're storing any floating points, default value is 0.0f. We have 4 bytes and the ranges is up to 7 decimal digits. Up to 7 decimal digits. Like example, we have 1.1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 decimal digits it is going to store. The same way for double, we have default value is 0.00D, 8 bytes. Up to 16 decimal digits it is going to store it. Okay, in a variable it is going to store up to 16 decimal digits. Okay, next, coming to your keywords. There are 5 different keywords. One is reserved keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, and separators. First, I come across with the reserved keyword. Reserved keyword in the sense it is already used in your program, like defaultly it is going to use. If you use that particular keyword for anything, it will be shown error. Like for, if you use for a variable name, it throws an error for you. While, break, switch, if, else, continue, case, default, all these things are your reserved keywords. You cannot use in your program for any other purpose. Okay. Next, identifiers. Identifiers are nothing but which we are going to have naming for your class methods, variables, and your objects. Literals. Literals are nothing but where we are going to store the value into a variable. For that, we are going to call it as a sequence of character. I mean, literals. Like example, you have, string data type s is equal to, if you're storing RAM, for this we are going to call it as an literal. The data which is present in between in double quotes, for that we are going to call it as an literals. For that we are going to call it as an literals. Next, operators. Where operators are nothing but it is a special symbol. It is going to take one or more arguments and it operates on that. Like example, we have plus operator. For this plus operator, we are going to, if you want to perform this plus operator, we should have some operands like A, B, or 5, 3. If you want to operate on this, like we need to have some operands, then only it will going to work on that. For that, we are going to call it as an operators. Next, separators. Separators are nothing but we are going to have like parentheses, braces, brackets, semicolon, comma, and dot. These are the keywords which you are going to have. Okay. Next, variable. How to declare a variable? What do you mean by a variable? Okay. Can anyone say that why we have to use your variables? Can anyone say that in C++ I have explained why we have to use a variable, for what reasons?
Sorry, it acts as a reference.
It acts as a reference. Suppose example you have int a is equal to 5 and give us it. This is how you have written. Okay, this 5 has to store into the memory location. Example, this is your memory location you have. And in this you have stored a 5. To identify this memory location, you are going to have some address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this address. You can't remember that address every time. So to avoid that, we are going to use a variable name. So easily it can be identified by the variable name. As the name itself, definition itself says that to denotes a storage location which is used to store the data value. To denote the storage location of this 5, we are going to use this variable A. So when you return this 5, it is going to store it into the variable called A. So for that, one memory location will be allocated for that variable called A. In that 5 is going to be get stored. To identify that address location, we are using variable called A. Is it clear? Understood why we are going to use this? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir, understood.
Srinivas?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Srinivas?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, what are the rules we have to follow while declaring the variables? There are some 5 rules we have to follow the rules. Like, first thing, the variable should have capital letters or lower letters or digits. In between, you can have this, or 2 special characters such as underscore and $sign. Okay, the first character must be a letter or underscore. The first character must be a letter or underscore. Next, blank spaces cannot be used in the variable. Java keywords cannot be used in the variable names. Variable names are case sensitive. Like example, if you declare int a is equal to 5, again I'll declare int a is equal to 10, I'll store. Whether both are same? Whether both are same?
No, sir.
No, as the name itself says that it is a case sensitive. Both are different. It will store in your different location. Okay, is it clear? Have you understood how to declare the variables? What do you mean by variable?
Yes, sir.
Next, declaration of a variable. How declaration of variable, in the sense before using that variable we have to declare it. Like example, if you want to use I variable somewhere in your program, before using that you have to declare it, then you have to make use of it. Okay, here I am showing syntax, data type, variable name 1, 2 and 3. Like here I'll show float. Okay, float is equal to, here I can store, float, variable name I'll use f, I'll store some value 2.3 f and give a semicolon. If you want to store this values later, what you can do it, float f a b c d exam, like this also we can store. Okay, here only I'll share float a b c semicolon, like this we can work on it. Okay, okay, for this syntax. Now once you have declared it, we have to initialize that variable. Initialize in the sense we have to store a value into that particular variable. How to store in the sense? There are two ways. One, by initialize, one with the assignment statement, another one is your read statement. Okay, there are two ways to store your values into a variable. One is with the assignment operator, another one is your read statement. Okay, assignment operator will come up with your data type, a variable name equal to and value. Okay, data type, variable name equal to value. This is how this your assignment statement works. Okay, this is about your assignment operator. Now can anyone say that how to make use of read statement? How to take an input from the user? In C++, using which object you are going to take an input from the user?
C in, sir.
What about this C?
Scanf, sir.
Scanf. The same way here also we are going to take an input in a different way. Okay, in a different way we are going to take. What is the different way? I'll show you. Here we are going to take an input using your scanner class. We have a class called scanner. Using that scanner class, we are going to read an input from that. Okay, if you want to make use of scanner class, must and should we have to write this statement. If you're not writing the statement, your scanner class won't be invoked to your class. So if you want to work with the scanner class, you have to import this statement, import java.util.scanner. You have to write like this. Once you have written the statement, next we have to create an object for that scanner class. Okay, scanner class name reference variable equal to new operator and scanner. In the sense, your class name. In the parenthesis, we are going to pass a parameter which is known as system.in. If you're, it represents that stating we are going to take an input. We are going to taking a input. It represents. Okay, scanner is similarly how you are going to create an object for your class. The same way you are going to create an object for scanner class also. But we have to pass a parameter which is known as system.in. It specifies that it is we are taking an input. Okay. Example we can come up with system.out.println. I want to enter an integer value. Enter an integer value. Some value I want to store. So what I have declared here, int a is equal to. You have to take this reference variable. Okay, you have to take this reference variable and you have to put dot. If you're taking as an integer value, then you have to use next int. Next will be small, I will be the capital, next nt will be the small, and open and close parenthesis, give us semicolon. Okay, this is how we are going to read an input in the Java. Have you understood? Have you understood? Anusha? Bhavna?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kaushik? Prakriti?
Yes, sir.
Suman?
Yes, sir.
Suman? Okay. Hope everyone have understood. Now we will work on it. Okay. First, here what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one float value, one integer value. If I'm going to take two inputs, whether I have to create object for two outputs, sorry, two inputs. Hello.
No, sir. Only one object.
Okay, only one object we have to import. So what we have to create? So which class I have to make use of it to read your inputs from the user?
Scanner class.
Scanner. S is equal to which operator I have to use?
New.
New. Next, what should I write?
Scanner.
Scanner. Next, what should I write it?
System.in, sir.
System.in.
System dot in and give a semicolon. Is it correct?
Sir, S in system is capital.
Why?
Class name, sir.
Yes, it's a class, so we have to write system as system. Yes, will be the capital. Now you can check it out. You have got a red color line. We cannot keep it in the mind to import all the libraries like import java.util.scanner, import java.io. something. So we cannot restore all the libraries. So what I'm going to do here, either you can place your cursor here, automatically you're going to get all the options. In that you have to select import scanner, that you have to check java.util. Java.util class you have to select. This is the one way. Or else, what is another way in the sense? Control Shift O. When you press Control Shift to O, then you're going to get a class. You can select that and you can click on finish. Once you click on finish, automatically you're going to get a import java.util.scanner. Okay, this is second way. Or else you can place a cursor here, click on it, automatically it is going to get imported. Okay. Now I'll make use of system.out.println enter the age. Next, I'll create a variable int age is equal to, you have to make use of scanner class reference variable yes dot. When you press dot, automatically you're going to get some options like which one you are going to select. Now we are going to take an input of integer value, so we have to select next int. You have to select next int. So select that and give a semicolon. Okay. Now next, system dot out dot println. Now I'm going to give enter the percentage. A percentage will be in the form of floating points. So I'm going to write float percent is equal to s dot you press. So you can check it out. In the first one, you're only going to get next to float. You can click on it. Based on the variable which you have declared here, automatically you're going to get the value. So give us select. Now, if I want to store byte, okay. Now what I'll do is system dot out dot println, enter the byte value, something. Okay, enter the byte value I have written. So I've given a semicolon. Now what I'm going to declare byte data type b is equal to s dot. Automatically you can check it out. The first one will be your next byte. You can click on it. Then give a semicolon. Later what I'm going to do, I'm going to print all the values. System.out.println the integer value is colon. See, now earlier in the C we used to use comma, whereas coming to your C out we used to use extraction operator. Now here, if you want to print anything, you're going to use, if you want to differentiate between your string value with your normal variable, we are going to use concatenation operator, and then you have to specify the variable and then give a semicolon. That's it. Now again, system.out.println. Now the percentage is colon, give a space and concatenate with percent. So percent if semicolon. Now again, system.out.println. Now the byte value is colon space, plus. So I'll specify B. That's it. Give a semicolon. Done. Now save your code. And how to run your code in the sense, at the task, at the bar here, you can check it out. There is a play button. There is a play button. You click on it. Automatically at the console here, you can check it out. Here you can check it out. Your output will be visible. Okay. Now enter the age. I'll specify the age is 28. Now while press enter, Now it is asking percentage. I'll specify 93.56. Now again it is asking a byte value. I'll specify 127. Then I'll enter. Now you can check it out. The integer value was 28. The percentage is 93.56. The byte value was 127. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes, sir.
Have you understood? Have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And make sure that when you're going to take an input in the form of string, you have to create new scanner class. Why? Because these are the integer values. One, it is fine. One scanner class is fine. But when you're storing your string, we have to make use of another scanner class. Okay. First, I'll show for you people with the same scanner class storing of your string. Okay. System dot out dot println entered your name colon give. Now what I'll do, can anyone say what data type I have to make use of for your storing of your name?
String, sir.
String. Okay. String in the Java, it is in class. String is in Java. Sorry, string is a class in Java. So I'm going to create string s is equal to s dot. See, now I'm not going to get any scanner. Now I'm not going to get any scanner class. So what I have to do here, scanner sc is equal to if scanner system dot in and give close this. Now here what I'm going to do is, okay, sorry, this s is the part, sorry, here I'll see here it is an str. I'll check. Now I'll check is dot. I'm not getting any. Oh, I'm getting. Here you can check it out. Next I can make use of next, or I can make use of next line. I'm going to make use of next or next line. Okay, I'll make use of next line. Okay, I'll give semicolon. I'll change it to st. And now I'll print a system dot out dot println string. Sorry, the name is colon plus st. I'll specify and I'll close it. Okay. Now I'll save it and now I'll run. Enter the age. I'll specify it as a 28. Percentage around 99.1. I'll specify. Byte value I'll specify 123. See, enter your name is not going to take. Enter your name is not going to take. When I change it to SC, I'll save it and I'll run it. Okay, now I will check. 29, 98.89, 123. Enter your name, San, and now you can check it out, your value you're going to get. Understood? Is it clear for everyone? When you're taking your string values, you have to create another one scanner class separately for your storing of your string values. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Students, if you're not going to open your mouth, at least put a message in the chat box so that I look into it. Okay, now I'm going to give a task for you people. You have to take input your percentage of in the second sem, your name, your USN, that's it. Your name, your USN and percentage in the second sem. Okay. You have to you have to read your input from the user only. You have to read your input from the user only. So kindly write your code in the chat box. Anusha, first write it everything and then you press enter. Why? Because you're going to get when you press enter, the messages will be posting in the chat box. You can make use of notepad, write it everything in the notepad and then you will post it in the chat box. Copy and paste it here. Please kindly post anyone. Janvi, it's correct. Rakshita, kindly have a look on, you missed a USN. Taking an input of the USN
Yes,
and printing of a USN. It's correct. Program is
yes,
correct.
sir. Yes.
Okay. Anyone are working on it? Anyone are working on it still? Okay, fine. We'll wind up today here and we'll continue in the next class. Thank you.
Sir, I have a doubt.